What's going on, guys? HaVoC 9 back with a video, and today to go ahead and discuss 4 cards that Supercell tried to fix but ended up making them extremely powerful. Every once in a while, Supercell tends to have those cards where they just never take off or have really bad stats. And in an attempt to fix these cards, oftentimes they become useful, but sometimes they get way too powerful to the point where it's in 50% of all games in Clash Royale. Supercell has had a number of these happen before, and it usually ends up being, fixed with lowering the damage or just a health decrease. I was going to make this video a top 5 or a top 10, but after spending an entire night doing research, I've realized that this hasn't really happened a lot, and what usually happens is the card just ends up being good, not OP. So I didn't want to throw in a bunch of random cards and call them OP. Now, before we get into the video, I just wanted to thank you guys for 300,000 subscribers. I took a little video here which I recorded with my phone a couple of days back. I am a little late, but I'm pretty blown away at how fast we grew this January, and considering the fact that my channel had died last fall, and I nearly quit YouTube, which I probably shouldn't have. But you guys gave me hope again, and I hope I continue to create content, and hopefully when I move into my own place soon enough, I can make daily videos. So thank you so much again, you guys are really awesome. Now, with that being said, don't forget to like the video and comment to be entered into my monthly iTunes and Google Play giveaway. We only have around 2 weeks left for that, so stay tuned. So up on number 4, we have the Royal Giant. The Royal Giant was added in Clash Royale on February 29, 2016. He wasn't being used, and on March 23rd, he got a massive 20% damage increase. But it wasn't enough, and yet on another update in May, the range had decreased by 1, which by the way in Clash Royale and in Clash of Clans, 1 tile can make a huge difference. So at this point, the Royal Giant was like the #1 used card according to StatsRoyale.com. May 2016 was the month the Royal Giant was insanely OP, and everyone had at least 1 deck with it. It did way too many damage, it had too much health, and the range was so far. It was so good to the point where it ruined the meta, and Supercell was forced to decrease the damage and his speed, which made things a little more balanced. Now it's 2017, and the Royal Giant is still being used in around 15% of all decks. So, it's still good, but there's definitely many counters to it now. So that's why it's not OP anymore. Number 3 is going to be the Expo. Now this is the only card in this list where it wasn't bad at one point. It actually came out really OP. When the game first came out in January 4, 2016, the Expo was very different. Not only the damage was crazy, but it also did air damage. Yes, it could shoot balloons, minions, and all that. And believe it or not a lot of people know that the Expo could do this because this was before the game globally released. Even before it came out on Android. It was so good that it was one of the most used cards at the time, and since the game had just came out, Supercell wasn't sure what to do yet. It did so much damage, targeted air, deploy time was only 3 seconds, and the range was 13 tiles far. It was a beast building, and to this day it's the only epic building if you go check. But unfortunately, since it was too OP, it got fixed, and it took them around a month to actually fix it. On February 2, the damage was decreased by 15%, and they changed the targets to ground only, which made the card crazy bad, like nobody was kind of using it. Even worse though, a few days later after that, they increased the deployment time from 3 to 5 seconds, which pretty much left the card walking on 1 leg. And then on March 23rd, they decreased the range, and that was pretty much the last time the Expo was actually used. The card was pretty much dead. But flying over to June, on the 21st, they decreased the deployment time and increased the hit points, which made the Expo alive again without being OP. Now we're in 2017, and the Expo is rarely seen and only holds a total of 1.9% in decks, which is pretty low. Number 2 on this list is going to be the Elite Barbarians. When the Elite Barbarians were first introduced, people thought these were gonna be like so beast and kill a Royal Giant in 2 seconds. But it failed to impress. The elixir was way too high for what the Barbarians actually did. Low health, low damage, and too many easy counters. But the disappointment didn't last long because 2 weeks later after that, the 15th of December, these 2 tough guys went from worst to one of the most used cards today. The damage was increased by 14%, hit points by 19%, and hit speed was increased to make it even. But according to StatsRoyale, the card is currently being used on a massive 40% of all decks in the game. That makes it number 3 out of all 67 cards. To put that into comparison, the Zap is currently at 59% and is number 1. Now, although the Elite Barbarians are very strong, and are, booming right now. Don't be surprised when Supercell rolls out a balance update and decreases something. What goes up must come down, and that's exactly what happened to dozens of cards in the game, so, it's going to happen. A lot of people didn't want it to happen to the Mega Minion because they said, oh, it's not OP, but you see what happened? They decreased the damage by like 6%. And yeah. And number 1 on this list is going to be the Lumberjack. If you were playing Clash Royale back in August, there was a short period of time where the Lumberjack made a huge comeback. But why? And where is he now? Well, let's start with the history first. The Lumberjack was added in Clash Royale on July 4th, the same day we got tournaments added in the game. At first, it was an okay card, but the usage rate was pretty low. Nobody was really using him, and of course, a new card that people don't use will always get a buff to make people use it. Same thing happened with the Elite Barbarians, Tornado, Inferno Dragon, all that. So in an approach to fix the Lumberjack, Supercell has made a ton of changes, and one of the most powerful changes was the speed increase from fast to very fast, the damage increased by a massive 23%, and the hit speed reduced to under a second. For a short amount of time, the Lumberjack was an insane beast, but it didn't really last long. This is also part of the reason why you probably don't remember the Lumberjack ever being OP. Because I sure don't. Like, I was playing in August and I don't remember the Lumberjack being OP. But if you look at videos from August, everyone was using the Lumberjack. So what happened to the Lumberjack and why did it fall? So on the update that added the Mega Minion, Ice Golem, Inferno Dragon, and the Graveyard in September, the meta completely changed drastically, and this made the Lumberjack fall right back down to the ground. On that same update, the rage speed boost was decreased and also the duration, which also affected the Lumberjack. So pretty much the Lumberjack got a nerf. Now, although this card didn't have a long OP status, it still had its rise in fame back in August, and it was great. Now moving over to 2017, the Lumberjack is still pretty good and I still see him sometimes, but it only holds a total of 4.8% in all decks. So that's pretty much it for my list, guys. If you agree or disagree with anything in this video, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. I'd love to hear all you guys' feedback, so make sure you do that before you go. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please rate, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Tell me what you guys think below in the comment section. And peace out, YouTube. See you on the next one. Peace!